Have you ever sat back and thought, who actually owns all the Bitcoin? I mean, we hear about Bitcoin hitting new highs or crashing down, but behind those charts are actual people, companies, even governments who are holding massive amounts of it. We're not talking about someone with a few coins stashed in a wallet. We're talking about people and institutions who own hundreds of thousands of Bitcoins, literally billions of dollars worth. The interesting part? Not all of them are who you'd expect. Some are tech giants, sure, but others are anonymous. And a few are even global powers making quiet but serious moves in the crypto space. So if you've ever wondered where the largest Bitcoin stashes are hiding, this list is going to surprise you. Let's count down the top 10 Bitcoin holders in the world right now, starting with number 10. Block.one is the company behind EOS.io, a blockchain platform that had one of the biggest ICOs in history. Back in 2017 and 2018, Block.one raised over $4 billion through its EOS token sale. But here's the thing. While building EOS, the company also decided to hold a massive amount of Bitcoin. As of the last public report, Block.one owns over 140,000 BTC, which at today's average price of around $65,000 per Bitcoin would be worth more than $9 billion. They've never sold a major portion of their holdings and have stated that Bitcoin is part of their long-term treasury strategy. This makes Block.one one of the largest institutional holders in the world. What's surprising is how little they talk about it publicly. They're kind of like that quiet rich neighbor who never shows off but owns half the street. 9. The Winklevoss twins. Remember the twins who claimed Facebook was their idea? Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss may have lost that battle, but they definitely won big with Bitcoin. After their legal settlement with Mark Zuckerberg, they took a big chunk of that money and started buying Bitcoin back when it was under $100. They reportedly bought around 120,000 BTC, making them two of the first Bitcoin billionaires. The twins later went on to start Gemini, a cryptocurrency exchange, and they've been huge advocates for Bitcoin regulation and adoption ever since. Unlike some early adopters who cashed out, the Winklevoss twins held on and are still believed to own the majority of their original stash. That puts their holdings at close to $8 billion in value today. Not bad for what started as settlement money. 8 to 7. Binance. Corporate holdings. Binance is the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange by trading volume, and it also happens to be one of the biggest Bitcoin holders. Although Binance doesn't officially release how much Bitcoin it owns, estimates based on blockchain data and wallet addresses suggest the company holds more than 150,000 BTC. That's over $95 billion worth. The Bitcoin held by Binance isn't just company profit. Some of it is held as part of its secure asset fund, for a kind of emergency insurance fund. Still, that much Bitcoin under one company's control is significant, especially considering Binance's global influence in the crypto space. 7. The United States government. This one catches a lot of people off guard. Yes, the US government owns Bitcoin, and a lot of it, but not because they're bullish on crypto. In most cases, they've seized it from criminals. Over the past decade, the U.S. Marshals Service and other federal agencies have taken control of Bitcoin through raids, hacks, and takedowns. As of early 2024, the U.S. government was holding over 200,000 BTC with a value of roughly $13 billion. This includes coins taken from Silk Road, dark web marketplaces, and major criminal operations. Interestingly, the government sometimes auctions off seized coins, but lately they've been holding more of it. Some speculate it's because they're realizing its strategic value. Whatever the reason, it makes the US government one of the biggest holders in the world. 6. Galaxy Digital. Founded by former hedge fund manager Mike Novogratz, Galaxy Digital is a major crypto-focused financial services firm. Unlike some firms that only dabble in Bitcoin, Galaxy is all in. According to its latest public filings, Galaxy Digital owns over 16,000 BTC on its balance sheet. But when you factor in assets under management, the number could be significantly higher, potentially over 100,000 BTC in total exposure through various funds. Galaxy serves institutional clients, so a big part of its Bitcoin holdings is through funds it manages for other people. But Novogratz himself is a major believer in Bitcoin and has said multiple times that he expects Bitcoin to become digital gold in the long run. 5. Marathon Digital Holdings. Marathon is one of the largest Bitcoin mining companies in North America. And their strategy is unique. Instead of just selling the Bitcoin they mine to cover costs, they've been stockpiling it. As of mid-2024, Marathon held over 17,000 BTC directly, and with their rapid mining expansion, that number is expected to grow fast. They also use their Bitcoin reserves to secure financing for more mining operations, creating a kind of self-reinforcing loop. Marathon's approach shows how miners are starting to think long-term rather than just cashing out for quick profits. 4. Tesla. In early 2021, Elon Musk made headlines when Tesla announced it had bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. At the time, this was a huge deal. A major public company putting Bitcoin on its balance sheet gave the crypto world a kind of legitimacy it hadn't had before. Tesla later sold about 10% of its holdings to test liquidity, according to Musk. But it's believed they still hold over 10,000 BTC. That's less than others on this list, but the impact Tesla had on public awareness and institutional confidence in Bitcoin is massive. Musk also continues to comment on Bitcoin. So even if Tesla isn't the largest holder, they've definitely been one of the most influential. 3. Mt. Gox trustee wallets. Mt. Gox was the biggest Bitcoin exchange in the early days until it was hacked in 2014. The collapse shook the crypto world, and hundreds of thousands of Bitcoins were lost. But here's where it gets interesting. Not all of the stolen Bitcoin disappeared. A large portion was recovered and is now held by the Mt. Gox trustee for eventual repayment to creditors. As of 2024, these trustee wallets hold over 140,000 BTC. That's nearly $9 billion sitting in limbo. The funds are slowly being prepared for distribution to former Mt. Gox users, but legal battles and repayment logistics have dragged on for years. So technically, this makes the Mt. Gox trustee one of the largest holders in the world, even though the Bitcoin isn't really theirs. 2. Satoshi Nakamoto. Satoshi Nakamoto, the mysterious creator of Bitcoin, is estimated to own around 1.1 million BTC. That's over $70 billion worth at current prices. And here's the crazy part. Those coins have never moved. Not a single one has been spent, sold, or transferred since they were mined back in the early days of Bitcoin. Satoshi's identity is still unknown. It could be one person, a group of people, or even an organization. The untouched coins have led to all kinds of theories. Some say Satoshi is dead, others think they're just waiting for the right moment. Whatever the truth is, this stash represents about 5% of the entire Bitcoin supply. It's like the ultimate digital treasure chest, just sitting there in the blockchain. 1. Binance, cold wallets for users. While we mentioned Binance earlier for its corporate holdings, the real story is the Bitcoin it holds in custody for its users. According to on-chain data, Binance's cold wallets contain over 500,000 BTC. That's more than $32 billion in today's market. Now, to be clear, this Bitcoin doesn't belong to Binance itself. It belongs to millions of users around the world. But it's still stored under Binance's control, which makes the company one of the most powerful players in the crypto space. With that much Bitcoin in its ecosystem, Binance's decisions can influence liquidity, security, and even market sentiment. So when we ask who owns the most Bitcoin, it's not just about one person or company. It's about who holds the keys, who has the influence, and who can move markets. Binance's massive stash gives it that kind of power, even if technically it's not their money. And there you have it, 10 of the biggest Bitcoin holders in the world right now. From mysterious founders and government wallets to crypto giants and early believers, these players are shaping the future of digital finance just by holding on. What this list really shows is that Bitcoin isn't just some fringe experiment anymore. It's a major asset held by billionaires, corporations, and even nation states. And whether you own a full coin or just a tiny piece of one,